EA Sports. It's in the game.
Now we're cooking. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the New Orleans Saints. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
And a former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he's got some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
You can script and diagram plays all you want, but no one really envisions something like that happening this early in the game. How about that run to get things started? Didn't he win NFC Player of the Week last week?
Yeah, he was on fire a week ago, and what a start to this one.
He had no sign of him cooling down at all.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now a handoff to Ingram. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play. They toss to Ingram. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Breeze now to throw. And that's complete. It's Watson. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Breeze. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. These two teams, of course, met in the much-dissected NFC divisional round game a season ago, and they also met in the Monday night opener last year. And Adrian Peterson's return to Minnesota, gosh, that seems like a lifetime ago. It was actually Peterson's replacement, though, Dalvin Cook, who went for 127 yards in a 29-19 Viking victory. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
On fourth down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. From the left hash, this from 46. And Lutz puts this one through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a 4th-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And his first look is incomplete. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
Stephon Diggs had 8 touchdowns in the regular season. And then when it came to the postseason, a huge one in the playoffs that'll be remembered forever, especially in Minnesota. Also helped to actually overshadow what a really nice year he had. Can catch the ball underneath and also take the top off of a defense with his speed.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. pretty much unreal. Not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Ingram again, a first down carry. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. A handoff, it's Mark Ingram. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Here we go.
They go with a fullback line. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
3rd and 1, who you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man. Hand him the ball and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Ready? You waiting?
2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Kill.
Now they'll throw with Breeze. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Following the interception, Cousins. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Looking left sideline, incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's fourth. Fourth down after the New Orleans defense holds serve. Third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will tie us at 3-3. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
This fielded at the 2. Pretty move. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? The Saints in the hurry up here, clock continuing to roll. Breeze to throw on second down. Now Breeze lost the football, and this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. From the gun, here's Cousins. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Well, run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Now Breeze throwing on second down. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. The Saints on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Breeze. He'll rifle this one, trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football, we're not seeing it right now.
He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Second down, Cousins. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This from 54 yards away. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out in Houston. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. 20-6 was the final. From there we say, so long, America. Hello, England. As we head over the Atlantic to check out the action in London. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Blake Bortles leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. And finally on Monday Night Football, the costumes will be out for the final game of October. Patriots and Bills from Buffalo. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected. All tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Here's Cousins. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it's a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Cousins. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Von Miller. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's Matt Weil now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's taken on the 25. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Vikings defense getting ready to go. And a big reason we're tied as we get a look at them here, the 3 turnovers they forced.
And you know that the pride has really kicked in on the defensive side because they are the reason that they're in the position they're in right now. A tie game, they're trying to figure out a way to take it away again. And if so, that could put them in the lead.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. The play fake to Ingram. Now it's Brees. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Daniil Hunter. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. They go play action for Ingram. Now Brees. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. So they get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward to get the first down.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
The toss right. This is Ingram. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. On 2nd down, Kamara. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
Here we go with Kamara. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
The previous play is under review.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing...
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look to grab a late lead. The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And no movement for the field goal unit to break this tie. They're going to go for this thing. 4th and goal. Here we go. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their full band. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. They tried to let the fullback pound it in between the tackles, but he stopped up short. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. Guys, this game's felt a bit weird all along the whole way through, and no better play maybe exemplifies that weirdness than that safety right there.
Partner, you've got a tie game and time running out. You've got to be ultra careful down on that end of the field, and this could very well be the play that decides this football game.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They have the football. They're looking good, but the lead is just 2, so any mistake in a field goal can beat you. They got to be careful.
And that's where it gets difficult because you don't want that to leak into your thinking. You want to play like, hey, we've got the advantage. We can close this out. Don't play from fear, and they can win this game.
See if they can play fear-free and hang on. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Ingram. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Ready? You waiting?
This is Ingram. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Ready? You waiting?
They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
You loved
did.
the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the Saints, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions.